certain conditions in which prayers are best answered in Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَقَالَ رَبُّكُمُ أُدْعُونِي أَسْتَجِبُ لَكُمْ. And your Lord has said that, call unto me and I will answer you. In this verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes calling unto him a very rewarding and expected obligation for Muslims. But certain Muslims, we make prayers, we say prayers, and we find that after we have said the prayers, we don't have our prayers being answered to. So scholars has given us some clues on some conditions in which if they are met, inshallah, all prayers being said will be answered by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Among these conditions is to look at the state of the sayer, the state, the internal condition of the prayer. If someone prays to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his or her relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not well, is not good, such a person may have his prayer being rejected. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us one conditional phrase in the Quran while he was telling us how he answers prayer. He said, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِ عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِي. When my servant asks about me, as how I answer prayer, tell them I am so near to them whenever they call upon me. But before you call upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي, Allah gives that condition. You must also answer, and you must also come near to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You must also try to do all what Allah has expected you to do. فَلْيُؤْمِنُوا بِي. You must also, before you want Allah to accept your prayer, you must also believe in Allah. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْشُدُونَ. From this verse, we can take note that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all hearing, is all answering to our prayers. But not only hearing or answering our prayers, He has also set for us conditions in which if we go by it, inshallah, we find our prayers being answered to. Among the states and conditions in which Muslims are expected to make and say their prayers are about 5 conditions. There are about 5 states of conditions in which if Muslims say their prayers in those conditions, they are likely to be given the necessary answer by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. First of these conditions and states is after Salat. When a Muslim says his prayer after the adhan, after the muazzin has said the adhan, if a Muslim says his prayer, inshallah, it's one of the areas in which when we say our prayers, we find it answered. Among those areas and conditions in which we should try and endeavor to make our prayers said in those areas is between the adhan and the salat. After the muazzin has said the adhan, and in waiting for the salat, if prayer is said during this period, it is one of the areas in which it has been given in some traditions that whoever says his prayer during this time, he or she will find his prayer being accepted. Also, among the areas in which Muslims are expected, to make their prayers said in the time is in the last one third of the night. Suluthul Layl al-Akhir. Whenever a person says a prayer in the last 1/3 of the night, he has the very high opportunity of having his or her prayer being said. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when Allah was talking and giving the conditions and the features of the Muslims, the pious ones, among their features is that wabil ashari hum yastaghfirun. During the night, the last time of the night, they have their prayers being said to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Among other areas in which it is expected that when you say your prayer during that time, you have the very high opportunity of having it accepted is when someone is fasting. Someone in the fasting mode has a very high opportunity of having his or her fasting being accepted. In fact, it's reported in a very sound hadith that Isa said whoever says a prayer during the fasting, he would have his prayer accepted, especially in the time he or she intends to break his fast. Verily, this time is one of the areas we should make sure that we say our prayers. And lastly, among the areas that we should try to make our prayers said, and inshallah it's going to be accepted, when you find yourself in the mode of traveling. A traveler also has the high possibility of having his prayer accepted.